Hey, it's Nicola from Singer's Secret. A lot of singers struggle to find their unique style when they first start out. And I think this is a lot of the time it's because your voice is still developing. So you haven't developed the range of notes that you're eventually going to be able to get. You haven't developed the strength of the vocal that you will eventually get. And quite often you have a favorite artist or someone that you want to sort of emulate or sing like. And a lot of singers get very down on themselves and depressed if they can't sound and sing as well as their favorite artists. And so you're struggling to find where you fit in terms of genres, because you may like the way your favorite artists sound, but you can't necessarily sing all their stuff. So you kind of may feel, I don't know if I suit that particular style of music, whereas I know I can sing this particular style, but it's not really my thing yet. And this is all attributed to the fact that your voice is still developing. And it can really affect your confidence if you don't know where you sit musically, or you feel like you're not good enough to sing like your favorite artist or whatever. So today I've got 3 strategies for you which are really going to help you work through some of these problems and find out where you fit musically and how to sort of start developing your own unique style. The first strategy is to listen to heaps of music. This may seem obvious, but you would not believe how pigeonholed a lot of people are in their listening. I don't think it's as bad for musicians as it is for the general population, but a lot of people just listen to what's being fed to them on radio, like 1 or 2 radio stations that are their favourites, or they have 1 or 2 favourite artists and they just listen to their CDs, their music over and over again. What you want to do in order to expand your knowledge of the way that you could sing, the way that you can express your songs and where you fit musically, is to listen to a greater breadth of music. Fortunately, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, or whatever, they make this really easy for you because of recommended or related artists. So you can literally just go onto the home page of Spotify and it'll spit out a whole bunch of other artists that they think you may like. And I implore you to go and listen to some of their material. And don't just listen to 1 or 2 songs, go and listen to 3 or 4. Especially if they've done quite a few albums, go listen to some of their earlier stuff and then the more recent stuff as well, to kind of get a really well-rounded idea of what that artist is like. What this does is it expands your knowledge of different ways that you can express yourself, different ways that you can sing your songs. So I listen to a lot of Motown in my listening, even though I don't sing Motown in my music. I listen to these artists, and the reason I do it is because not only do I like the music, but they sing completely differently to the way that I sing. And I get a lot of new ideas for vocal techniques off Motown artists. And listening really is one of the best ways to grow and develop as a musician. So I highly recommend, if you want to find your unique style of singing, the best thing that you can do is to listen to more music. Strategy number 2 is to embrace your voice, flaws and all. Your favourite artists have probably been singing for a lot longer than you, which means their vocal muscles are stronger, they would have developed a larger range, and they can probably sing higher notes than you can at the moment. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to sing those notes. It just means that at the moment, you're still developing. So you've got to look at ways that you can sing songs that you enjoy singing in a way that embraces your voice's limitations as they stand at the moment. That may mean transposing it down or changing a few notes, whatever you need to do to make sure that that song sits better with your unique voice. Now, one thing that I personally struggled with when it comes to my vocal development is you've probably heard me say this before, but my voice doesn't have any edge to it. I have a very, very warm voice, and it doesn't have any of that kind of belting cut through sound. So when I belt, it doesn't actually sound like a belt to a lot of people, even though I am putting as much gutsiness into it as possible. My voice just doesn't have any edge. And because I love Aretha Franklin, for years all I wanted to do was belt like Aretha. And I used to think that this was a huge flaw to my voice. I really did battle against it, and it wasn't until I accepted my voice flaws and all, that I really started to enjoy the way that I started singing. And I realized that, you know, not having an edge to my voice isn't necessarily a flaw. It's just my unique voice. And I can sing really beautiful, soft, breathy notes in a way that a lot of artists can't. So it's not really only until you embrace your voice, quirks and flaws and all, that you really start to enjoy the voice that you have. And my third strategy for finding your unique voice is to realize that it takes time. I know we all want to go from like 0 to 100 straight away, but music is a journey and you've got to enjoy every single step of the way. Believe me when I tell you that there is no end goal when it comes to music. You know, whether you want to get to a certain place vocally, or you want to start performing live, or you want to cut a record and make it huge, or whatever, there is no end goal, because once you kind of get closer to that goal, musicians are, you know, like unusual creatures. We always push that goal further back, so we want something else. So you've got to really enjoy the journey and your vocal discovery as it is in the moment. Now, when I first started singing, I started in classical music. Now, I do not sing classical music now. I morphed from classical into, what did I do then? Musical theatre. Then I even started singing in some rock bands for a while, which, you know, did not suit my voice. And it wasn't until later that I actually discovered jazz and I felt like I came home. And the only reason, though, that I felt like I came home when I found jazz was because I tried all this other stuff. You know, and this took time. I started singing, really being a little bit more proactive about my singing, I suppose, in high school, and that was all classical. And you've got to realize that what you start off with now may be vastly different to what you end up with your style of singing. You know, in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, it can change dramatically. So just go and try a whole bunch of stuff, different styles. Don't restrict yourself to any particular musical genre. And I really feel that if I was to have listened to a lot more music when I was younger, I was very pigeonholed with my listening tastes because I just wanted to listen to what my friends listened to, and I got influenced a little bit by my parents, and my dad was this massive Andrew Lloyd Webber fan, so we just listened to his stuff all the time, Phantom of the Opera and all that. So that was my musical world. But if I had listened to a lot more music, I think I could have cut that time of going through all those different genres to find jazz. I could have cut that time right down if I had expanded my musical listening. So yeah, there are my 3 strategies to finding your unique voice. Ultimately, you just gotta have fun, because music is a journey. You've got to enjoy every step of the way. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and comment and like as well. And if you would like some free singing tips and training, head on over to singersecret.com and you can grab it there. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time.